It's Saturday morning in Tacoma's Oldtown, and we're by the tracks to catch some freight trains. Oldtown's ample park space and pleasant views make it a favorite spot for many local train spotters. While passenger trains no longer run on this route, these tracks are still plenty busy. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and we're here in Tacoma's Oldtown back by the tracks. It's pretty early in the morning. We got up before the sun did, and I hope it pays off because it's quite cold out here right now. Unfortunately, my initiative did not pay off, and some work happening at the Temco grain facility would force me to move. Temco is the Tacoma Export Market Company, and they transfer grain from rail cars to ships heading overseas. Before our first train arrives, I will warn you that Oldtown is a no-horn zone. What you'll hear instead is wayside speakers playing imitation horn noises. I know some of you will dislike that, but I implore you not to overlook visiting here because of it. After what seems like a long wait, our first train arrives, taking empty garbage containers back to Seattle for waste management. For those of you wondering where we are, the black arrow is where Titlow is, if you recall that episode. We are on the opposite side of Point Defiance, where the red arrow is pointing. Also, one of you let me know that Point Defiance Bypass is not owned by Tacoma Rail, but is instead owned by Sound Transit. So thank you for the information. Look at the color on that tree. It certainly stands out on this drab morning. While many trees are past their peak fall color, you can still find a few that are putting on vibrant displays. You can also catch cool cars here year-round, as many people like to cruise along the waterfront. What's also cool are GP28s in their original Burlington Northern paint, like 1507 on this trash train. The fog's clearing away and the sun's coming out. It's warming up a little too. I think it's going to be a pretty nice day. I'm glad I can show you this spot because back when I lived closer, this used to be probably my favorite spot to photograph trains. I have hundreds, maybe even thousands of pictures here. The UPS trucks are beginning their route while around the corner comes a train of empty grain hoppers heading back east to pick up more of this year's harvest. Remember when I said that the fog was going to clear out and it should be pretty nice? I think I spoke a little too soon. Fortunately, fog doesn't stop the railroad, and here comes a manifest train from Pasco, Washington, headed to Everett. When the fog actually does clear, you get fantastic views of Commencement Bay and the port of Tacoma. There's plenty of ship activity throughout the day, and there are also 2 military roll-on, roll-off ships nearby, the Cape Island and the Cape Intrepid. The IG-4SE train is one of the longer Union Pacific trains that comes through here regularly. I don't see many other UP trains using distributed power in the middle, but this one frequently features it. Here's another intermodal train. The Z in this one's symbol designates it as a priority intermodal train for Union Pacific. While we have a short break, I headed into town to find a hot drink on this cold day. As the name Oldtown implies, Tacoma did start here, when Job Carr built a cabin that was also the first post office. There's a replica of it nearby, right next to this Anthem Coffee where I purchased my beverage. Anthem is a local chain with a few shops around Tacoma and Puyallup. I've been to this one in Oldtown a few times, and I definitely prefer it over Starbucks, but maybe that's just my South Sound pride. Oldtown remains small due to the terminus of the Northern Pacific Railroad being established by Commencement Bay, an area sometimes called New Tacoma, where all the city hustle and bustle ended up too. Things seem a bit more easygoing here in Oldtown. We make it back to the tracks in time to catch a Portland-bound manifest train with a friendly crew on board. Have a look at this 12-axle depressed flat car, special built for hauling some of the heaviest freight. I was worried for a little while there that today would be slow, but so far it hasn't disappointed, not one bit. Looks like we're getting 2 manifest trains from Pasco today. This one has some interesting rolling stock too, a bunch of it being Canadian. In the video's intro, when I mentioned ample park space, I was not exaggerating. Tacoma has a bunch of parks here. Two notable ones are Jack Hyde Park and Chinese Reconciliation Park, which memorializes the time the authorities in Tacoma rounded up and evicted their fellow Tacomans of Chinese heritage, a dark moment in the city's history. This city just recently had artists paint these concrete supports of the Schuster Parkway, which runs right by the park. I think it's a nice way to give some more vibrance and character to this area. Last train of the day, another train of empty grain hoppers. This one headed to Williston, North Dakota. Thank you for joining me in Oldtown. I hope you can see why I used to come here frequently. It's a fun spot. I've been Warren Robertson, and I hope you'll join me in the next episode. Goodbye.